All right, welcome back to Melanin and Me podcast. It's your girl Whitney.
And Mia,
Yay, it
I can't
is
even sound,
October.
I can't even sound hype. I'm sorry. It's just
I know we just learned some crazy
hurt.
news, y'all. 2025 just keeps surprising us. Unfortunately, the R&B legend D'Angelo has passed away. Mm, from pancreatic, you said pancreatic cancer?
Yes, pancreatic cancer.
Ugh, I hate to hear it.
Apparently, this is news to the world because, nobody knew he had cancer. There was no announcement made, rightfully so, but,
Never
sometimes
knew.
it leaked. And then it really just is really unfortunate too. Because his one of his children's mothers, I don't know if he has multiple kids, I don't know, but I know he has one kid with Angie Stone who passed away. Did she pass away this year too? Was it this year?
Girl, it was just a few months ago.
Jesus.
Mm,
So, there are, I mean, we could talk about them being soulmates or, eternal flames or, however we want to mix that up to make sense, but they are now hopefully resting in peace in heaven together. D'Angelo, most known for, common hits like Brown Sugar of the 90's, Lady, You're My
oh,
Lady.
he got so many hits.
There are so many hits. Send It On, Untitled, How Does It Feel?
Nothing
It
even matters
just,
with Lauryn Hill.
oh
Mm,
God, oh, he is quite literally the soundtrack to the 90's, right? He's one of those
girl.
artists.
And he loved him some black women. Loved them.
Loved him some black women. And we
Yeah.
love our black kings that love them some black women. Period. Period.
Oh, girl. It's few and far
Fruit.
between now.
Oh my
Mm.
God. So, life, we
So
are just
this is a
constantly
hit.
reminded how short life is.
This is a
And
hit.
if you're not getting right with the Lord, now is I would say it's always a good time, but it's just let's
Yeah.
think critically right now about what's important, what matters.
And it's also it's letting us know as millennials, especially because like
Mhm.
we grew up in the middle of two eras right now. Like we're literally in the middle of two eras. And I feel like all of our older people that we grew up off of who were 20 and 30 when we were kids, they are ushering out of here. You know what I mean? And there's a new group rising, but it's just so hard to accept the fact that, you know, even our rest in peace, Diane Keaton. Oh my God, she's passed away too. This lady was in all of our movies. I mean, she's in so many of my favorite movies from the 90's, 2000s. Is
Same,
like
same.
all of that feel good energy that we got as kids, adolescents growing up.
Hmm.
It's letting us know that we're aging, we're getting older. Everyone older than us is aging. It's
Hmm.
tough. It's tough. And this is us approaching 40,
Hmm.
and it's just like wow.
It's
We have to say
it's
goodbye to
very
a lot of our
sad.
legends.
A lot of
Hmm.
our legends, and and I think also to your point, the unfortunate thing about all of this is too growing old. I don't think people really understand how hard it is to grow
Yeah.
old with the same body that you were born with. Meaning, yes, it's going to age, it's going to have miles on it, but when you see the grandparents, the elders that are in their 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and they're able to walk around, walk up steps, walk up a hill. You may see them at your gym. They're not in a wheelchair. They're not on medications. They're not, just being able-bodied individuals growing to be 70, 80, 90, 100 even. Do
Mm.
you realize how hard it is to, have favor over your life in the sense of dodging car accidents,
Mm.
dodging certain illnesses that'll take you out that we've seen people tragically lose life over of 20,
Girl,
30.
it's such a blessing.
It's so many things that, can come your way to destroy you and take you out of here that it is truly a blessing when you see elders that have survived and are surviving in their upper ages because
Yeah.
life is very it's difficult. It's
Girl,
difficult.
I be thanking God every day we're here, that I'm here. Like
Yes.
so many people never even make it to their
Yes.
30s, to their, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we are truly blessed. We're truly living in God's favor just to be alive.
Yes.
No matter, like that's the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like there's every we all have problems, bills, relationships, whatever it is. But the bare minimum is you're here to experience those
Yes.
problems.
Yes.
Let's be
Yes.
grateful. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ooh,
Yep.
thank you, God. Mm.
But anyways, I mean, I don't
But
even know how to really.
RIP.
Yes, art. Rest in peace to D'Angelo, Diane Keaton.
Yep.
I feel
Your
like
work is done. You know
your
what I mean?
work is
Y'all
done
did the work. You
and
did the
well.
work beautifully.
And
Yep.
yes, beautifully, beautifully.
Mm.
Timeless songs, timeless movies,
Mm.
timeless spirits that
Especially when
will
you could
live
feel
on.
people's energy. Like
Woo!
Diane Keaton, you could feel her energy in any movie she plays in. She just gives you that feel good. Like everyone wants to be cool with her. Like she just has good vibes, good energy. Black
Good.
people loved her.
Yes.
Black people loved her.
Love her, girl, honey. She was auntie to a lot of
Hmm.
I think Meryl Streep said it the best. We can't imagine. Obviously, we weren't born in the 70s, barely made it in the 80s. But I'm saying, you know, Diane Keaton, you can't really remember her without, have her without the 70s, 80s, 90s, early
Hmm.
2000 movies. Some of my favorite movies, First Wives Club, right?
Love First Wives
Godfather
Club.
was so good.
Father of the Bride. I love
Father
those.
of the Bride. What was the other one? I think it was something what is it with Jack Nicholson? Jesus.
She was a little older when she did this one. I
She was a
think I know
little
what you're talking
older.
about.
It was like they were in their 50s,
Hmm.
finding love
Girl, I
again.
had no idea she was in Godfather. I think I was
Yes.
watching it with Chris because I'd never really
Yep.
seen Godfather, but he
I
was
hadn't
watching.
either, but I mean I remember her
I was
from.
like, oh, I was like, look at her all young and stuff. Like I had never seen that. I was like, she literally been acting her whole life.
Yep.
Wow, what a blessing. What a
What a
blessing.
blessing. What a blessing. What a blessing.
So
Life
God
well lived.
bless them. RIP.
Yes.
Well done. Well
Well done.
done.
Well done. All right.
All right.
Get into it
Moving
because
on.
everything really today is a little bit heavy. I mean, in one
Yeah,
way or another,
it is. It is, girl.
So let's dive into the most recent,
Mm.
I think, headline in
Mm-hmm.
entertainment from the Bravo Real Housewives franchise,
Ugh, they always
particularly.
got some shit going on.
Don't they? Don't they
Always, girl. Always. It literally, somebody said something the other day and was like, yeah, they need to be investigating the Bravo franchise because it just seems like it's always some scandalous stuff going on with them.
scandalous scheming shit?
So, this news is about the Potomac Housewives franchise and cast member Wendy Osefo and her husband, also known as Happy Eddie. Um,
Forget about happy.
They have been charged with about 9 felony counts of fraud, insurance fraud, reporting false police reports, so on and so forth. And it's bad, y'all. It's bad. I've digged into the cases. Okay. I've done a little bit of research and yeah, they done for. They're done for. So they stole almost $500,000 of insurance money. They claimed that their house was robbed while they were on a vacation in Jamaica. Um, Wendy was public about this house robbery. She did a few interviews, which now looking back at the interviews, it's like, wow. I mean, how disingenuous could you be? You know? But they were, police became suspicious because of the high amount that
Okay.
they were requesting, which is like $400,000, which was getting close to the maximum of their policy. On top
Mm.
of that, it was found that, Eddie took out another insurance policy, I think like traveler's insurance, and
I
then
saw that.
Wendy, took out the home insurance. So they were double dipping basically. And when you do this with insurance companies, they're going to reach out to other insurance companies to make sure that people aren't getting overage payments on
Hmm.
one incident. And
Hmm.
so that's basically
Oh,
what happened. The insurance
had another
companies,
one with Jewel. Jewelers Mutual. That
Yeah,
stood
the
out.
jewelry
Yeah,
insurance
the
company,
jewelry.
right?
Mhm.
So, trying to get all this money from these insurance companies, of course, they're going to do their research, do their homework. They have found a lot of the things that she had claimed that were stolen, they found receipts for that had been returned back to the store. So, we know Wendy bought a lot of these things and her husband, and they returned these things, but still reported them stolen like they hadn't returned them. On
Right.
top of that, a lot of the jewelry that she said was missing was found in her Instagram posts dating back months and months after the incident. So you are reporting hundreds of thousands of dollars on stolen jewelry that you don't even have the intelligence to take off in photos that you're publicly posting. It's
Jesus.
making no sense. So that's another reason they got caught. And then the third final reason, this is definitely the nail in the coffin, in my opinion, was that the police recovered emails that was sent from Eddie to Wendy, basically saying, "Hey, let's add some more stuff to the policy so that we can max it out." Their max was 400 something thousand dollars. So they left a paper trail of fraudulent activity for the
Attorneys,
police.
doctors who are so smart and educational. Why would you ever put that in writing? Why is that not pillow talk? Why is that not like why?
For what, girl? For what? For what?
Mhm.
And it's just like, this is what they say, like greed. Because
Greed.
had y'all just maybe brought it down, shoot, maybe if you just requested 50K or 100K, maybe you would have got away with it. Maybe. But $400,000, $500,000, you thought people weren't going to do their due diligence?
Right.
Are you
Right.
serious? And you have
Right.
all these degrees? And Eddie, you are a lawyer? A lawyer. Come on, man. So now he's facing disbarment. She obviously, she already kind of stepped away from her educational roles. She was a professor. She already been stepped away from that. But I'm pretty sure she may have some issues getting back on the Housewives franchise. On top of that, they're facing maximum, I think, 5 to 10 years in prison and a bunch of hefty fines. Okay. Now we already
Uh,
know Karen, also a housewife in Potomac in Maryland, was sentenced to about 6 months in jail for DUI. So this is a 70-year-old woman we talking about went to jail for
oof.
DUI in Maryland. And y'all, I'm from Maryland, and I'll tell you this: Maryland doesn't play when it comes to the law. They are going to go for the maximum every single time. Every single
Really?
time. They are very, very strict. Maryland is one of the 13 original colonies in United States, if you don't know. So a lot of the police department is very rooted in racism. I hate to say that, but it is true. It's deep rooted racism in Maryland, and they're gonna throw the book at you, especially if you don't have white privilege on your side. Sorry to say it.
Wow.
So, and then all the publicity that the police department is getting off of this case, they had a whole press conference off of it. So like, yeah, y'all are looking probably at least a year in jail, I would think, just to like kind of teach you a lesson. Um, on top of that, you talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're gonna have to owe the government and the insurance company. So I hope it was worth it. To me, it is very stupid. Mia, I would love for you to talk about Funky Dineva's point of view because I thought that was great.
Yeah. So I was watching a clip on Funky Dineva this morning, and he pretty much, encapsulated everything that I think for the majority we are all thinking, right? You know, prior to Potomac, prior to the OSEFO'S, if I've said their last name correctly, prior to them, getting on Real Housewives of Potomac, they probably lived a really good life, a great life. Above average, you know what I mean? Not too crazy, but just a really great life. And entering into Potomac, right? It just seems as though the pressure of whoever, I think it's the pressure of themselves because Funky made a really good point. He's like, I hate that they felt pressure to, you know, the Potomac or the Real Housewives franchise to be people who they're not. You know, we never looked at Wendy as the it girl or the fashion queen or this, woman that's driving all the fancy cars and riding around with all the latest, millions of dollars in jewelry. And we just never looked at her that way. We've never even thought about putting her in that box or that category. We've always just thought education, highly educated. She speaks on colorism a lot, breaking the spells of, discrimination and, her kids, her journey, their background growing up in the village and how they made it out the village. The mom was real adamant about, kind of like this new lifestyle be that they're embarking in, and how she kind of had, feelings towards all of this is going to come crumbling down, and they were going to look at them like, back home in Africa as an outcast. And she really did not want this for her kids, you know what I mean? Or her daughter and her husband. And it's very sad that that is exactly what happened. And you worked, the husband and wife, Wendy and her husband, they worked so hard to get to the position that they were in. And I think generally speaking, on average, Wendy was likable in her lane, right? Maybe not, I mean, you had people that you took sides for, but in Wendy's lane that she kind of curated for herself with this education, she had all these jobs at one point. Her husband was kind of like her husband. He didn't try to do too much. It appeared on the show. He was just comfortable with being Eddie, very attractive, very smart. Her kids, great, well-rounded kids. It just seemed like a really good family, all to come crumbling down at the hands of greed in whatever box they made themselves be put in, because we as a society didn't place her or her family in that box that she was trying to keep up with. We did not do that. I know I didn't
Never.
do that. Like Funky said, I never looked at Wendy like she was the fashion queen and that she had to top it every year and that she was rolling around in, multi-million dollar cars. We just never looked at her that way. But I do think it was an interesting point that, what was that one girl's name on the previous season? Nneka. Was it Nneka?
Necca, yep. Yep. The
She
other
did,
Nigerian lady on there
the
who
other
Wendy did
Nigerian
not
lady,
like,
yes, did not like,
tried to get
acted
her off
like
the
she didn't
show.
know, acted like she didn't know her. Although the other girl, Nneka, she was like, "No, Wendy, we know each other. We
And
know
you know
each
what?
other."
Somebody said NECA knew what was really going on. NECA knew they really didn't have it like that.
Right.
Like you don't want her to clock your tea in front of everybody. And that's why you wanted her off that damn show. Because
Yep.
why are you going after the only other Nigerian on the show? You should be like, yes, my Nigerian
Exactly.
sister. Like, yes, we in here. But it was total
Exactly.
opposite. And Wendy got
Exactly.
very snooty. And that was really when I did not start. I really started not liking Wendy after that. Because I'm like, I was rooting for you as the underdog because I do feel like Robin and Giselle kind of bullied you just a little bit, how they typically do. And
Yeah.
even Mia had kind of threw that drink on her and just
Mhm.
treated her a little unfairly, in my opinion.
Very much
So
so.
I was on her team, but I felt like she took all of that and kind of had to be like, oh, well, let me show you. I'm
Right.
better. I can wear this. I can drive this. I can get my body done. Just
Body
kind of tried
done.
to show them, and I think she just forgot who she was. And somebody I saw online made a good point and was just like, a lot of these housewife shows, it's like Andy and Bravo are not doing proper vetting, because it's
Mm.
like people feel like they have to put on to live this lifestyle in order to be on the show or to keep up with the show. And so a lot of times people are, okay, let's rent a house for taping for 8 months. Let's rent a
Mm-hmm.
mansion, even though we live in this apartment. Let's rent these Bentleys, even though we drive Hondas. Let me buy these clothes and take them back. And then when you can't keep up with that season after season, it now you're resulting to scamming. Now you're resulting to schemes because you got
Mm-hmm.
to keep up the appearance, because shoot, this is your main check. If you're not
Mm-hmm.
able to keep up appearances on this show, you're gonna miss out on 100K per episode. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it's just
Yeah.
like, I think when the show originally started, we were
Mhm.
actually dealing with people who had actual amounts of wealth that could not be
Mhm.
disputed. And then
Mhm.
as the show kept going on and on, we kind of got further away from that. And now we're pulling in quote unquote nobodies. I'm not going to call them nobody, but nobody in terms of like wealth that we would know. You know,
Mhm.
Wendy was just a professor.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And so that's
Right.
kind of dangerous because she's not the only housewife who has been convicted of fraud. I think
Mhm.
there's somebody from the New Jersey housewives who's in jail right now for fraud and stuff like that. So, like, this is a reoccurring issue.
Mhm.
And I don't know if they're properly vetting these people or they're just like, okay, rent a house, rent a car, be on the show. And then people feel like they have to keep that up.
Yeah, I think it's all of the things, right? I think that to your point, um, when the Real Housewife franchise started, it originally started in Orange County, and
Mm-hmm.
those women had money
Mm-hmm.
by way of however they had money, whether they had a job, whether it was their husbands, whatever. We also have to take in consideration real housewives, right? Like real married couples. The housewife term can be flexed in like, okay, she's
Mm-hmm.
married, but she's working. She may not be the traditional, but it still was more married people with
Yeah.
wealth. And
Yeah.
then you had the few singles, right? Single women that were trying to figure it out, right? Or just
Yep.
newly divorced trying to figure it out. And then I think what happened was based on the city that these people are in, it was a true reflection of kind of where they were in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, if we think about Atlanta, Nene, she was where she was with Greg. They were an average, above average living couple. Not Candy, I'm sorry, the other Sheree, even though she was divorcing, that she was right where she was supposed to be. Now there were rumors and things like that about Sheree doing this, but at one point Sheree had it when she came on, right? She had it. It's just she overspent, right? She overdid it. She probably was still trying to maintain the lifestyle after divorce. But
Yep.
for a lot of these women, I think it started in an organic way because for a lot of these shows, they were friends or they knew about each other. And like Nene would say, it was Nene that was the nucleus and was kind of like arranging who should be on the show. Where
Right.
I think things got got interesting was um people are moving away. Like one of the things I'll say about Atlanta, I feel like the show grew and their budgets grew. With
Right.
the franchise growing, your budgets are going to grow. People are still going to be people. They're still going to make poor decisions. They're going to let fame and all the things, critics and all that get to them. But for Potomac specifically, I feel like they were looked at as the more low budget franchise in terms of not Potomac being low budget, just it wasn't as flashy of a city.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
was very much widespread. Everybody was talking about. They were like, these girls are so underwhelming. They're very
Yeah.
frumpy. Robin was going through what she was going through. Giselle still older.
Grumpy.
Giselle still lived in like her older, unrenovated house, white appliances, all these things. But it was true for who they were at that time.
Yeah.
And I think that with Wendy specifically, it just became like most people. But I think that in terms of like is Andy and Bravo vetting these people, I think with Real Housewives, people want to see a lifestyle because that's how it started out. And unfortunately, that's not how they've kind of maintained it because it has, to me, steered away from married couples.
Yeah.
And it's becoming
Girl,
like
Wendy was like the only married couple. I think Wendy and maybe
Wendy,
Karen
Karen,
were the only married ones on the show. And those are the two
Monique
with the legal
was
issues.
Monique was before she went off, when she stopped when she got off the show. But I'm saying like to your point, like it's steering away from the heart of like what it started for. But I will say that those
Thank you.
girls, Robin, she didn't have no shame in her game. She got a lot of flack for it, but she was in a rental until she worked her bones and hands and knees and got to where she and her husband need to be. Giselle, as much as people shamed her for having those white old appliances and old house, it was paid for. She did a renovation. and she's not in that situation. So if people, it's all dependent upon how you can handle it. And sometimes people just cannot handle being in the spotlight. It's too much
Yeah,
pressure.
I don't think it was meant for her,
It just
honestly,
wasn't.
Wendy, because you can tell she was super affected and honestly like shell shocked when the first season and that second season, she's like, okay, let me get it together.
She
Let me
came back a whole new
show
person.
that, mm-hmm,
We didn't even recognize.
mm-hmm.
She looked good. The surgery looked good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked
No,
whatever she
it's a
had done. It looked
good,
great.
modest surgery. It's nothing crazy, but
Nothing
at the
crazy.
same time, it just shows that like you have a desire to impress these people and not just the people but like the public, your fans, or this newfound fame that you've acquired. Like you are trying to keep up with the Joneses. And my thing is, you started, like Andy said, you led with education. So
You
if
did
you're leading with education, be that girl, be the education
that,
girl. Don't
girl.
Why are you trying to fit into the it girl lane? Why are you trying to bend over backwards to be approved by these people? Just be the educated queen that you were supposed to be on the
And a girl, and
show. I'm
again,
just,
and
excuse
again,
me.
I have to stress, nobody put you in this box. Nobody said we want you to come from being educated to being flashy, the it girl with the BBL and the body and the lips and the this and the that and the that. No, I didn't see that in comments. I
Yeah,
never saw that. People are gonna make fun
yeah.
of people's look. Everybody now, what I will say is
I think they made fun of her
everybody's gonna
clothes.
get it. But I mean,
Hmm.
Giselle gets it the worst.
She
Giselle
does.
gets it the worst, and she's beautiful. But she, baby,
Hmm.
Giselle every time gets the clothes comments the worst. So I'm
Every
saying
time.
everybody is getting talked shit about. It's
Hmm.
on you and your mental. If it's too
Hmm.
much, you need to be the one to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can't handle it. I can't imagine having being on TV and having millions of people tear me down in
Hmm.
whatever way they decide or how they view me. That is what it is.
It
That
is.
is what it is. And how it landed, unfortunately, it just seems like it was too much for Wendy to handle. And I probably would argue that her husband probably even tried to talk some sense into her at one point. I don't believe Eddie was maybe the one that was like, hey, let's do this. I personally believe Wendy was probably more so like, hey, like this is what we need to be.
Well,
I think
see,
Eddie
and
probably
this, but see, this
comfortable
is
being Eddie.
that's dangerous to me, and I don't like how everyone's like assuming it's all on her because my thing is he's the lawyer, first of all. So he has common sense to be like, girl, no, we're not doing that. So that's number one. Number
Not the
two,
fraud.
he
Not the
was the
fraud.
one. Oh, okay. Because I'm like
I'm
with the
just saying, I'm
fraud,
just saying,
I've
no, no, no,
heard
no.
everyone say, well, yeah, Wendy's dragging her husband into this lifestyle and blah blah blah. I said, well, is she really dragging him? Because first of all, he wanted to start a marijuana company and stray away from his law profession. He was on the show as a husband. There's plenty of husbands who don't be on the show at all. You wanted to do those
Yeah,
things on the show.
yeah.
And you were the one who sent the email talking about let's add more stuff to the policy. That was your email to
I
her.
think, I
So,
think, yeah, I just think that with Eddie, though, what I'm saying with Eddie, not the fraud stuff. I'm speaking to like, I think Eddie generally was okay with being how he was with his family. I think he probably loved her how she was before the surgery, like, and all the craziness and all the things. At some point, I do think that Wendy was probably more prone to being like, we need to step it up. We need to, and he's like, oh shit. Because I think that we've seen all the husbands, embark on businesses. I don't think you have to go into because the fraud they were doing was taking clothes back, like not, you know what I mean, like taking clothes. Like who is telling you to buy all this Gucci and design? Really, a lot of the girls on these housewife shows, they're doing Fashion Nova. They're getting paid from it. They're doing all these things. They're not necessarily buying all this stuff. So I personally think that it was at some point something in her brain probably clicked to where she's like, I need to step it up. Not fraud. I'm talking about just like step up our lifestyle and in such a way that it just became too much for the both of them. Living beyond their means. And then now
yeah,
you're just in this hole. Because my thing is you still got a check from housewives.
I'm just saying, for him to go along with it, it has to be something that he wanted out of it as well. I don't think. he cared too much about designer clothes and stuff like she did. So I'm trying to figure out, what were you hurting financially on the back end that nobody knew? Because you
Probably,
don't have any motive to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I
probably.
could see her being like, oh, she wants to impress, whatever. But what's your motive, sir? Like, I just don't understand. It's like you are a lawyer, you had a successful marijuana business, they're
Yeah.
claiming. So why would you scam for $400,000
Yeah, I
and
think they
risk your
just both were.
bar?
I think they both were just knee deep. They were too knee deep. It sounds like they do a lot of blending of finances from how things, it doesn't
Mm,
seem to me like it's a situation where Eddie takes care and holds down the fort and
right.
pays all the bills and gives her this
Mm,
lifestyle. I don't see that.
they both
So
can.
if
Yeah.
you equally, and again, when I say equal, I'm not saying 50-50. I'm saying if y'all equally contribute towards the household, if one
Right.
person overspends, the money has got to probably be pulled from the other person who is used to probably like being the safeguard or like, I'm not going to do too much. And then now,
Right.
because you guys are in partnership together, when one drowns, as your partner, you're going to try to help sustain your other partner. And I just
Mm,
think that the lifestyle in
that's a
general
mess.
became too much for the both of them, that now they're both at the point where they're not thinking and they're just making these irrational decisions all based on this lifestyle, whoever's idea it was. I'm just saying
Mm.
that, all of this became too much for them to sustain and to hold on to.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
think
just
that
I'm just saying, I know there has to be a reason. Maybe it's going to be dug up in court
for
why
sure.
Eddie would risk it all, because I know you're not risking it all for designer stuff and vacation. Like, that seems just more of like a womanly thing. Like, oh, I
Yeah,
want
for
designer bag. I
sure.
want. So it's like, what was your purpose of doing? Like, were you hurting bad? Was the house about to be taken away? Was like, what was it? You
Probably,
know?
probably. I think he just bought her a ring. I saw in there he bought her an upgraded like band or another ring for like $4,500. That's very small amount of money. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying again, that's again yet to impress her, right? So did she
Mm-hmm.
want another ring? Did she want another engagement ring? Like, and depending upon who is the lead in the relationship, because typically there's one that's just more of a leader, alpha, you do have a
Mm-hmm.
bit more influence. People are in relationships, they want to make their spouse happy all the time for different
All the
reasons.
time.
And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a common thing that people do. And when you're in love or you feel like you're in the, and I can't imagine having the spotlight on you. I mean,
Mm.
I would think that I wouldn't go to great lengths to make fraudulent activity, but at the same time,
Right.
you just never know the type of duress that people are up under to try to
You never know.
maintain this lifestyle that they have now projected. And
Yeah.
I personally believe that they were I mean, clearly they're having financial issues, but I do believe that there probably was some losing of the house, or I think that there probably was some more serious things that were
Mm-hmm.
happening outside of just them taking like the superficial, as to why they needed the money to continue to sustain. Because if they were able to sustain, you're not going to go into fraudulent, behavior.
I wouldn't think so. Unless you had something
I mean,
coming
I
up
don't
that
know,
no
but
one
I'm
knew
saying like,
about. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
one would not think that if you're trying
Yeah.
to, if you're able to afford your lifestyle, I would not think that you would be
Mm-hmm.
doing fraudulent activity. But
Yeah.
you don't
Here's
know.
another thing too, which I'm curious because I'm like, I'm not sure if they're gonna go to court, because I'm thinking y'all are probably just going to take a deal if possible, if it includes no jail time, because they're going to go through everything. It's going to be public. All your
Woo!
dirt's going to come out. All your finances are going to come out. Like, it's going to get to the nitty gritty. So anything you're trying to hide if you go to court is going to be public information.
Facts.
So that's going to be even more embarrassing. So I don't know. I'm thinking they'll probably take a plea deal if it includes no jail time.
My thing is, can you guys afford a good lawyer?
I would hope, girl, I would hope so. You better put that house up for sale.
I
You
mean,
got
if
two
it's not
kids.
already up for foreclosure or something, who knows? Maybe not foreclosure, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? I don't know. I really don't.
Somebody else said something online that was like, because like you remember our house got broken into, of course. When me and Mia were in college and we were
Not
college
funny.
roommates,
We gotta laugh.
our house got broken into. And when I tell you that shit was traumatizing, to walk into your house and realize like some things are missing and then it hits you, and then you're like, like is someone still in here? Like I can't go to sleep. It's so traumatizing to have your house
Wild,
broken into. It's violating. And so
wild.
for you to pretend that that happened, it's kind of sick. And on top of that, you had to get your kids on board too. And your kids are young. So you up here telling your kids, yeah, mommy and daddy, your house got robbed, knowing that shit didn't happen. That's really fucked up.
I mean, it's gonna be it's this whole I wonder how soon they're gonna come to like how quick this process is gonna go by or how
Mm.
slow or how slow.
Karen's went by really quick.
Did it? I can't remember.
Yeah. I remember one day they were like, oh, she got arrested. And maybe like 4 months later, she was in jail.
Do you think that do you think that because are you gonna be watching this new season? Even though it's
I
not
didn't
gonna be
even know
on
there was
there.
a new season. Girl,
It's like
I've been
it's
so,
either out or coming out.
it's been really hard for me to get into it because like I was watching Atlanta and I never even finished it. I didn't finish the reunions up. Like I just was like, I'm kind of over all y'all because all y'all just seem, it just seems disingenuous now. It seems fake. It seems like you're putting on for storylines.
Faith.
Um, it's just like that era of genuine reality TV show moments is gone. I love to look at the old seasons with Nene and Sheree and all them because those to me were just the real moments that were genuinely funny. You
Right.
really saw people's lifestyles. It was before social media blew up. So, I don't know. These new reality shows is just not tea. Okay.
Girl, I was watching something, a clip. My homegirl sent me of New York back in the day when she was doing like the dating I Love New York. And it
Oh,
was
I
just
love New York.
so real. It was just so, because that's her. So funny. I was like, this was our,
So funny. And I'm like,
like,
those were the days. Those were the days.
girl.
So I don't know. I just feel like the whole housewife era is kind of just falling apart right now, especially because like as America, we're kind of falling apart. The economy's not looking great. Um, Cost of living sky high. People can't really relate to this extravagant bullshit when people are trying to pay their rent and their mortgages and buy groceries and and then it's like we're watching y'all thinking, "Oh my God, they got it. Let's aim to be like them." And then it comes out that all that was fraud and scheming and scamming. So
Girl.
it's just like I don't even know where to go from here if people actually want to tune in to that type of content anymore.
No, they don't. They don't. That's why people love a train wreck, to be honest with you. To me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, people love a train wreck.
I think people just want to see, oh, look, Carter's haircut. Nice.
I know you got his haircut.
I love it. Looks good, looking good. But yeah, girl, I think people want just more regular content now. That's why Love Island blew up because these are just
Right,
regular people.
right.
Like,
That's
we're
true.
kind of tired of the celebrity.
We're tired of the celebrity. We're tired of the fake news. We're tired of, we know how it's almost kind of like we know how this story goes. Like, I'm not even shocked. I'm really not even shocked. I'm just like, because she's like screaming, she's so edgy. Like, fraud stories don't surprise me. But when you have been that girl to be like, oh, not me, educate, educate, educate.
No, I'm kind of shocked. Like if you were to tell me a housewife did get charged for fraud, I would guess about 10 housewives before I brought up Wendy's name.
No,
She
I'm
just
shocked about that's what I'm
she
saying. I'm
doesn't give me
shocked about
scammer.
Wendy. I'm shocked about Wendy because of how she portrayed herself. Like,
Right.
you have been
Yeah.
the A1 getting on everybody
Yeah.
else and their tea and all this.
Yeah.
And I just hate
Education,
that
education.
we're not going to be able to really know how this plays out on their camera until the next season because this obviously just happened. But
So hold on. So you think she's still going to be a part of the show?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Didn't Karen get a felony though for DUI? So
Yeah, she hasn't been back filming yet. I don't know if Karen's part of the show still.
No, she's not gonna be on it this season.
That's what
Uh,
I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't think so. Um,
but I feel
we'll
like
see.
she would be. I don't know about Wendy wanting to be
Hmm.
based because this shit is embarrassing. Let's just
It's so embarrassing. And then somebody else brought up a good point and was like, her family and Eddie's family is probably just so repulsed because, Nigerians have a stereotype of
already.
them being scammers already. And you're just playing into it.
Girl, she got kicked out the village. The mama, like Funky said, the mama is somewhere running, getting
Yeah,
kicked out the village. Like, let me,
yeah,
I can't even go back to Africa. They are going
yeah.
to
But
change
somebody else showed some clips of the mama, and they were like, the mama is part of the problem because the
all this
mama,
pressure.
yeah, all this pressure talking about, well, do you have my allowance? Do you have my allowance money and all this stuff? I guess she was putting her mom on an allowance and buying her stuff. And it's just like, y'all are just trying to play into this, you're so wealthy stereotype. And it's just like, it backfired.
Girl, on it backfired on a couple that we did not place y'all in.
Nope.
Could care less what you give your mom. You could have gave your mom hell. Well, let me shut up. But
You could have moved your mama right into that guest room at your house
your
and
mama
stop
don't
trying
do
to
much. Your mama
stop
don't
it.
do much. And she would have been
Yep.
happy. You know what I'm
Would have been
saying?
happy, girl.
And
Would have
y'all
been
just
happy
doing the most
for no reason.
for no
So
reason.
we gonna see how this play out in the public. We will be keeping everyone abreast of any changes to the story. And make sure you follow us on all streaming platforms, Melon and Me Podcast. Oh, I think this is 2 weeks since our last episode, so we're doing pretty well.
The one thing I will say really quick before we go, I don't think we've been back on here since Diddy got his conviction,
Oh my
but
God, yes. Forgot about that.
you know,
What do you
um,
get, girl? 5 years?
he got 5 years. They're going to give him 4 years, and do 1 year time
I'm
served.
shocked he got that.
What you thought he was going to get more?
Girl, no, I thought this man would be out diddy bopping by the end of the year. Shit. I I was like, this is all a big dramatic mess. I didn't see it really playing out the way everyone thought it was going to. Like, ooh, he's gonna go to jail for life. Like, no, this is some sort of humiliation thing they got going on.
Some sort of scheme Todd set up.
It's a scheme that Todd been setting up. So, you know, hey, you do the time because you did the crime. So my thing is, I think it's gonna be really interesting when Diddy does come out, which I think is gonna be quicker than 4 years, but we'll see.
People still don't support him.
I think he's just gonna be right back on the scene like nothing ever happened. And
I did
all the celebrities gonna be kicking
right
it with
there
him like nothing ever happened.
because he didn't get convicted of anything besides like what? What was the conviction?
Like prostitution ring or something like some sexual shit.
They're probably not going to pull his music from anything. Like he's not banned, I guess is what I'm saying. Like you know what I mean?
No, he's gonna be just fine. Now, what I do hope is Cassie, girl, take your money, go far, far away from here. Far, far
Oh,
away.
far away from here, far away from here.
You got 4 years. Get away. Because I'm telling you, that man is going to come for vengeance. I'm sorry. I don't trust him. So,
People were saying the only reason why Cassie came out, and this is so old news, but she got mad about Carisha getting all that shit. And we don't know what Carisha did, but a lot of people are saying Carisha
hmm
ain't put up with not near.
No, I doubt. Yeah, I don't think so.
And she got a
I
show.
I think she was a willing participant, just having a good time. Didn't care. Didn't care either way.
Poor Cassie was signed to 10 albums. And we knew she didn't even really have one in her.
Girl never had one.
I'm just saying, 10 albums. Beyonce's only, I think,
Hmm
released seven. Like,
Girl,
I
and
mean, her
I only know one Cassie song out of them
yeah,
10 albums.
that's it. That's it.
Me and you. It's just me and you. That's all I know. That's all I know. But girl, whatever you did, you got your what, 100,000, $100 million? What did she get?
She asked for 30 million and he said no,
She got 20 or something.
or undisclosed.
Yeah, she got
But
enough. She got enough to get up out of here. Um, yeah, she got
like the
enough.
next day, he settled.
Yep. Yep. At least 20 million, I'm sure. So good for her, girl. Take your money, get out of there with your kid and your husband, and
Run.
ooh, just I don't want to hear nothing bad happening to that family. I just don't want to hear it because if I do, it's Diddy. He did it. Sorry.
He did that shit.
Mm-hmm. So, oh well, I can't think of anything else to talk about.
I thought there was one other thing, but I don't want to drag it out if it's no point in dragging it out. I felt like there was one more thing.
Girl, it's been so much going on. It's just like,
Well, we did know about Cardi and Nicki Minaj, which was crazy.
yeah, we talked about that last
Uh,
episode. So they are simmering down now. I haven't heard anything. Nicki Minaj says she's coming out with an album. Cardi is coming out with a baby really soon. So,
yep. And just came out with a bomb album.
yeah, do you like it?
Mhm.
Good.
I like three
I think
songs.
I'm just way too old for it. It's just like she raps like A, B, C, one, two, two, three, which is cool because that's her and that's cool because that's her. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's just like when I'm listening to it, I'm just like, what are we talking about here? I'm
Yeah,
just too old now. I'm
I
too old.
like literally three songs. I mean, I haven't listened to the whole album, but I kind of listened to snippets. Like if you don't grab me in that first, I move on to the next. And
Right, right,
there's
right.
literally three songs I love. And I
Good,
think she might
good.
have like 30 songs on there. So,
Yeah. She's just, I like her personality. Her rapping, yeah, it's just ABC 1, 2, 3, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like, you make a good song, you make a good song.
hmm.
It's just, I need some more substance in my life at this age. I just can't. But
Oh, we sound
God
old.
bless her. I know, girl. Even I'd be
Sorry.
listening back to some stuff. I'll be like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, I literally don't know what you're saying.
I be
It's
telling
crazy.
Carter, turn that down. Turn it off. What is all this noise? What is
Turn it down. I saw somebody doing a skit on Cardi. It was so funny.
well,
I love her because nobody's like her though. That's what's so
no,
funny.
they're not. They're
Because she
not.
doesn't have to do all this. I'm a rapper. I go hard. She's just like, I want to be like Steph Curry, Aisha. Like one,
Hmm.
two, three. It's like she just does her accent, slurring the words. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't
Cardi.
matter. It's a vibe.
Cardi B.
It's
And
a
we love.
vibe, girl.
She's new. She's refreshing. Um.
I don't know about new. Her last album was a decade ago, but
Oh, I'm saying like through that.
Yeah,
Her spirit
but
is newer. Like she's more. She's not like a legend. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't think we make those anymore, unfortunately. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people listen to this music today, girl, we don't hear the songs no more.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna hear these songs no more. Ain't nobody gonna be bumping Cardi B's album in 3 months. I guarantee
Girl.
you. So it's a very short shelf life with this music, especially when it ain't got no substance, which it just seems
Woo.
like it don't.
Which makes
But
the D'Angelos of the world that much
legends,
more special.
yes, because I'm about to go
Tell you,
bump
I
me some
bumped.
D'Angelo right now.
I'll tell you, I bumped that man so much.
That's what I'm saying, girl. We still play our music from back in the day. Who
Still,
is gonna be playing this music from today? Who?
I'm telling you, my son plays Key Sweat. My
That's
son,
what I'm trying to tell you.
my
We
son
got the
in
good
his
hits.
car, my son be in his car playing Donnell Jones.
I'm telling you because that was real music. This music today is so bubblegum. It's like it just has the shelf life of milk. That's
Yes.
it. It expires in 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, okay, woo. Yeah.
Even everybody talking about Cardi B. I'm like, nobody's playing this music. I see a few Instagram posts with a song or two, but I guarantee I ain't seen nobody bumping Cardi B. I ain't seen it. I haven't heard it.
Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
But you know what they are bumping? They're still bumping T.I. from '05.
They're still and they're remaking all the old stuff. They're remaking all the imaginary players. They're remaking like
Yeah,
they're reusing a lot of our tracks that were so 90's,
they
early
are.
2000s.
They
It's
are.
like that should tell you alone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, girl. Okay. I have to bring this up. We're getting overtime, but I have to bring this up. This is what I meant to talk about earlier. There is a new season of the Braxton Family Values that
Mhm.
I think they just call it the Braxton Show now. It's a new season. Y'all, it's a mess, okay? There has been some speculation about Tamar bringing on their niece of their brother Michael. Apparently, this niece experienced some sexual abuse from the hands of Trina's ex-husband, Gabe, when he was alive.
Die.
He passed away some years back. But yeah, Tamar is falling out with her sisters again on the show because Tamar decided to have her niece come on her podcast and discuss the sexual abuse that she went through as a teenager. And
What?
so, girl, it's a mess, okay? So everybody was all up in Tamar's face, basically. Somebody sent her a cease and desist because they were so mad that she brought the niece on her podcast to talk about the sexual allegations. Apparently Gabe was texting her some inappropriate stuff. They found the text messages in her phone. And instead of like, standing up for her because she was only 15 or 16 years old, the family kind of silenced it and kind of just outcasted her. And so now the niece lives in Spain. She doesn't really have much contact with the family besides Tamar. And so Tamar saying, look, I'm not going to let this be a family secret because when I was a kid, I got sexually abused and nobody spoke
Ooh.
up for me. So she decided to, air it out. And the sisters are not happy.
What?
Everybody once again it's Tamar versus everybody.
How do you
So
feel
yeah, this
about
is a crazy season. I
Tamar
feel
versus everybody?
like
Is there some validity to that?
I feel like a lot of times Tamar is the problem a lot of times, but it's because Tamar is very genuine and what you see is kind of what you get with her. She doesn't really have a lot of like, oh, let me save face. I don't want to rub you the wrong way. So let me just hide this. No, no, no. She's going to say whatever it is and just deal with the outlash, right? And so I think because she's so unapologetic and you got Tony and the rest of them are kind of more buttoned up, I think it was literally just her and her sister, Tracy, that had passed away. They were the only two that kind of were just like out of the box with that family. And so now Tamar's literally the only one for real. And I think people are just upset that she is like letting family business be aired out. Tony got all in her face like she was about to hit her. Like, girl, it was bad. It was bad.
I think you sent me that clip.
Yeah. So the first episode of this season just aired, I think last week. And so a new episode's gonna come on Thursday. I think I sent you the episode because it is on YouTube for free if y'all want to watch it. And yeah, it's gonna be messy per usual. Um,
Do you think
it's just sad
do you think it's very sad?
because they're just falling apart. Like, goodness gracious.
By one, like Tracy was kind of the glue. Um,
You would think after you lost a sister, you would be like just way
Closer.
more close with your other sisters who are still alive, but it seems like
So
no,
broken.
it's just gotten worse.
So broken, unfortunately. Like many households.
It's
Um,
sad.
I was gonna ask, do you think it's fair? Not fair, maybe completely wrong word. Do you think, what are your thoughts about talking about somebody doing something to you in that vein of like sexual abuse after they're dead
Mhm.
and they're not here to defend themselves?
Well, see, and that's what Trina said. Trina said Trina's really upset about it because Trina says, look, he's not here to defend himself, so I don't think we should be talking about it. And that is valid. But my thing is, okay, when he was alive and she was still a kid, did you talk about it then?
No, I
You
mean,
know,
I don't have a
because
dog. Yeah,
no, no, yeah, I know you don't. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like Trina made a public statement with her husband and was just like, look, the person in question is my ex-husband who is no longer here. So
right,
it's not right to bring it up. And I'm like, that's valid, true. But my thing is it was pushed under the rug for so many years when he was there.
for sure.
You married that man two times. So it's just like obviously you picked a side and it was his. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I agree. I mean, in that vein, in terms of like, it's so hard to say what one should or shouldn't do, specifically because we don't know. She might have said something, you know what I mean, to somebody. Who knows? But she was a child. Could have been scared. Could have been not believed. You know how the common thing that we always hear. You know, like,
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
he didn't do that. Like, girl, you know, it'll stop or whatever. Whatever
Hmm.
these young people that are constantly being sexually abused go through.
Well,
It's
the thing was is that they had proof. That's the thing. The whole family saw the text messages.
oh,
So that's what Tamar is saying because like the dad saw the text messages. Tamar's like, that's not being disputed. It was kind of just like how was it handled afterwards? And
I see.
afterwards, they
I
kind of
see.
shunned her. They kind of shunned her
I see.
instead of being like, oh no, this was a grown ass man. He needs to get out of here. He's wrong. Come here, Ashley. We're so sorry. But they didn't give her that empathy. They kind of just shunned her, get
I
her away
see.
from here so we can act like this never happened.
I see.
So,
That's a big difference. Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that part. Well, how it should be handled afterward needs to be a lot of therapy
yeah.
amongst
Hmm.
all parties involved that this impacts in a direct way. You know, Tracy having to deal with the fact that her husband was a creep. Um,
Trina.
I mean Trina, I'm sorry, Trina. Um, you know, Tamar having still flashbacks and dealing with her own trauma from her own stuff, now
Right.
having to feel all the things for her niece. Um,
Mm,
you know, everybody
girl.
needs therapy. And not
And
Iyanla
Tamar,
on TV therapy. I mean real therapy that we don't know that you're going. We don't know what's being said.
girl, they did a Yanla therapy sessions, I think like 3 or 4 times. It just got worse.
Girl, because it's publicized, and as much as I love Iyanla, I'm just like it does some things. Those types of things, TV, as we see, makes people go crazy anyway.
Right.
People act a fool when it comes to being on TV because now you're not only dealing with your own opinions of how you already feel
Mhm.
about yourself, you're having to deal with all of us nobodies who have an opinion about your trauma,
Knowing.
your healing, your suffering, and how, you know what I mean? So, like, no, get you guys some true help and some therapy if you guys
Yeah.
are really serious about being a family and wanting to do better.
Girl, they're
Uh,
not. They feel, to me, it seems like they're completely fine with the division. Tamar's always out on her own. She just hangs around a bunch of gay guys, I guess that her entourage. Especially since after that white man did her dirty, that ex-boyfriend,
that's trauma.
she she just came and said her tooth got knocked out. She woke up, her tooth was knocked out. She
Good. I
always has
saw
some
that.
shit going on. And then I saw
Trauma.
on the first episode of this new season of the Braxton, she got her body done. So she got boobs, she got a liquid BBL, she got all types of stuff done. I'm just like, she is going through something, obviously, and she don't have nobody. It's really sad. Like I like Tamar. She does do a lot sometimes, but I do think she's very misunderstood.
Right. She
Pisces shit.
she is, and I think too a lot of it is her delivery.
Yeah.
Um, just because yes, you are. just the thing about it is people have a really people like that are the most problematic if they don't see themselves, if they don't deal with them, if they don't heal, because they will find complacency in the term
Yep.
that we've all heard. That's just who I am, right?
Yep. That's
You
just
know
who
I'm
I
a
am.
Pisces. You know I'm a Pisces. No, you're a bitch. Like it
Yep.
goes beyond a title or your astro sign or your it no, like if you recognize that that's just who you are, fix that's just who you are. There are parts of you that can be fixed, and you
Hmm.
don't have to fall prey to whatever label people are labeled because perception sometimes can be a reality. I'm not saying all the
Yep.
time, perception can be a reality. If 10 people say you're a bitch, probably 80% are not making that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like,
She
it's
has an
not that
issue
they're
with taking ownership
accountability,
too.
accountability,
Hmm.
but that all comes from somewhere. And if you are not willing to go there in therapy, and I'm not even saying your therapist has to be a true therapist. It could be anybody that's not your friend, right? I always
Yeah.
believe that just because friends sometimes we can be biased or we can be, we can sometimes enable behaviors that we're not trying to, but I just feel like it needs to be somebody who does not know you, whoever that
Right,
is. And
right,
they don't
right.
need to know your past, none of that.
That's
I feel
true.
like you have to go to the darkest depths of yourself. And because at the end of the day, when everybody's gone, you look in the mirror, you have to answer to yourself. Nobody else has
Yep.
to answer
You
to
versus you.
yourself.
Yep.
It's you versus you always. You're in this world by yourself, you're going to die by yourself, literally. Literally. And if you're not happy with who you see, that is a you problem.
Yeah.
And there's not enough people that want to do the work. You know why? Because what do they say? Well, I know myself. That person don't know me. He can't tell me. He or she can't tell me about myself.
Yep.
And that is not what therapy is designed to do. Therapy is not there to say you're right, wrong, or indifferent. It's there to be a tool to help you access certain things in terms of why you behave the way that you do. What can you do when said things come up? What tools do you have that you realize that you never knew you could use when you are faced with these
Right.
certain different types of things, right? It's
Mm.
all about evolving. Nobody ever just says, "Okay, I'm grown. I don't have any more growing to do." It's an evolution. We're always evolving. We're always growing. Who I was last year is not who I am today. Who I was 10 minutes ago probably what, you know what I mean? We're always nobody's ever just fully healed. I think it's just a constant discovery and you do get less the hope is that you become less triggered by some of the same things, right?
Right.
And that way you
So,
know how to handle certain situations whereas in your past you were like I didn't know I could handle it that way because I'm so used to having to fight and defend and da da da. I didn't know I had this tool that I could use. That is
mm,
what therapy is there to help you understand. It's not there to say you're a bad person, you're wrong, you shouldn't do that. You know you shouldn't be doing that, or you should, we know what we should and should not be doing.
mm-hmm.
But people are not willing to be held accountable because they don't want to change.
Mm.
They're
Girl, you
more
better clock
comfortable,
it.
girl, they're more comfortable because
For
it's
real.
easier. I mean, it's easier to be complacent. It's easier to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. Change is really hard for a lot of people.
Yep.
It is. And I
Yep.
mean, it's not an easy thing. I'm not saying it's easy, but it will be
Mm-mm.
worth it if you are willing to do the work.
Yeah. And I hope she gets that because she just needs peace.
Yeah. And
Tamar just
she
ain't
needs
never had no
peace and
peace.
she needs peace and she never creates peace. So,
Never.
you can't want peace and also be the person who doesn't bring peace.
But see,
So,
that's the thing. I don't think she wants peace. I think she grew up in this family, one of many, a
mhm,
superstar in the family. You're the youngest. You're trying to ruffle feathers. You're trying to
right,
stand out. You're trying to annoy people because it's better than being ignored. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. She gets a better
So,
response, a reaction.
yeah. And I think that was shown from her, being on the show and she became a fan favorite,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not Toni Braxton, but I'm Tamar and people love me because I'm extra and I'm this and I'm that so she plays into that because I think she feels like that's all she has to stand out, you know? So, I don't
And,
know, but I have a soft spot for her. I pray she gets it together.
I do too, because here's the thing: two things can be true at the same time. We can
Mm-hmm.
love you for you being you, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to continue to be a bitch.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it turns nasty sometimes.
Sometimes
But
pretty good
when
for the
she
long.
does stuff, when she does stuff like how she's doing now, which is using her extraness for good, which is helping her niece heal and stuff, people stand behind her. Because I saw in the comments, everybody's like, "Yeah, Tamar, you're doing what's right. The sisters will have to get over it." You know, when you do what's right, people are gonna stand behind you. So I just feel like that family just has a lot of drama, and honestly, they just should get off TV. That's just my
They should.
personal.
I was really shocked there. I'm really shocked to see another season.
I'm just like, but girl, you see, people need that check. People need that check. Celebrities are hurting out here.
And then people want to complain about what's being like shown on TV and the breakdown of the black families. It's like because y'all keep subscribing to the bullshit. Y'all don't want to see no healthy, everybody
No,
getting along, healed, happy,
girl, where's the drama? You know, they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. Everybody's out here hurting and traumatized, and
hurting.
people just want to see people going through more shit to make them feel better about what they got going on.
Girl,
So,
very true.
yeah,
So,
but
this
this
was
was good.
amazing. We got
Um,
a lot more out of
yeah,
this because it's
you're about
still
to
so much.
run.
Well, there's just
It's
still so
so
much
much.
that we haven't covered, but
Girl, so much. Because I'm circling back to Housewives now. I just heard that Candy and Todd have to close all their restaurants
girl,
because
that's
of they're not making money. So I'm just like, everybody's going through it. You know what I mean?
girl.
Like,
Everything is food ain't even tasting like food no more.
it's
That
not. Food ain't that good. It's really not that good. It's
food is
not.
not good unless you're out of the country.
And it's just getting more and more expensive and it's just not that good. So I can't wait to have me an African meal with you, friend, in
Girl, that's what
Africa.
I was gonna say. Unless you're in Africa or
I
that's
love all the things. I love all the
all the things.
meats, all the sauces, the
All the
fish,
sauces, the
seafood.
fish, seasonings, the
Girl, I
fruits.
can't wait. I
Girl,
can't wait. We'll be there. I'll be there soon.
soon come, soon come.
Soon
Um,
come, okay?
okay, until next time, we will.
Talk to y'all later.
Bye.